or maybe a few. And Mr. Turner, you'll probably have to review that tape on the derogatory language that was used about me. I was a little concerned that the term racist was used, to corrupt and everything. I find it ironic, talking about neighborhoods, that, I know it took a while, but Mr. Robert sold his house in Summerfield and bought a house at the lake at High Rock. Transparency. There is not one document in the world that says anything about me stopping a grocery store. The second breath is there's not one document that Mr. Robert opened his property up at the mill and had a food market to do something about a food desert. I will commend Ms. Dina Hayes Green on what she's done on her neighborhood. I also find it if we're going to be transparent, systematic corruption and being in the alleged pocket of a developer. Mr. City Manager, Mr. City Attorney, could you do me a favor for this council? Could you please do research on the public dollars that Mr. Robert has received from the City of Greensboro? And as I recall, counting the patio beside the property in South Elm, that he's received over $500,000 of taxpayer funds. If we're going to be transparent, let's be transparent. There is no documentation of any sort. As a matter of fact, I attempted to go to a neighborhood meeting that I was at one point invited at the Netty Code building. And I was invited, but when I got there, I was uninvited.
No.
That's fair. Matter of fact, if anybody wants to do a public records request, I'm happy to send you the email from Ms. Parker and the neighborhood stating it.
We can't have side conversations.
So I'm happy to share that with the media or whoever would like it. And when I walked in the meeting, Sharon, Tammy,
I'm going to have to ask you to stop yelling out, or we'll have to have you removed again.
I think it should probably be removed anyway. Because the fact of the matter is, I think that's a 3-month ban, maybe 6. There's your year.
Well, there you go.
So again, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope there's millions watching. If you want to talk about transparency and accountability, let's talk about it. We just talked about an incentive for who, Ms. Hightower? Was it a big political corporation, or was it a small minority-owned business that's doing quality housing? So we're not just doling out money to a bunch of corporations. By the way, corporations that could hire folks and try to get the average minimum wage and the income per capita up. Folks, let's talk about transparency, because I could keep going, and I've got a file that thick of some of the folks that spoke tonight and the hatred that they spew. But the fact of the matter is, I know my heart's in the right place. My kids know my heart's in the right place. I think this council knows that my heart's in the right place because I've proved it. Let's work together, leave the hatred, leave the vitriol somewhere else. And if we want a grocery store, how about we do the opposite of what they did at Hobbs and Friendly? And let's pull the neighborhood together and let's lobby every grocery store in America to come locate here. How about that? Let's do that. And how about don't kick somebody out of a room when they're trying to be your partner? How about that?
Crystal, please, or I'm going to have to ask you
I'll
to
stop.
leave too. So
I'll bring my file next time, because at this point, I've dedicated my life to this community, and I don't need to sit here and take some crap from anybody that tries to tell me otherwise, because I got some other things that I can say. Again, Ms. Green, congratulations My girlfriend rode by your house and said, "That's a beautiful house. You should go make sure you go by and see it." And I said, "That's the Greens house." Thank you for what you're doing for your neighborhood.
I just want to make one comment about grocery stores and where they go. When Bailey Village was being built, they put some property aside for a grocery store, and they were going to rough it out. And it is still there. And Chancellor Harold Martin and I